Hey guys, so it's time to check out the Galaxy S5 versus the Galaxy S3. I do enjoy to go back a little bit. I mean, I do remember when I picked up the Galaxy S3 and that was amazing. And these phones looks, I mean, they are, the Galaxy S3 looks a little bit like a joke because they had like to redesign it and looks a little bit weird. But now with the S5 again, they went back to normal design. I mean, if you take a look at this design, they had to redesign it because of like Apple, I think. And you can see here how the home button is like at the bottom and then has a big area here which looks a little bit weird and random. The Galaxy S3 of course is available in a ton of different color variants at the moment, which is pretty cool actually. And the S5, I mean, looks way better right now, or I think that personally. Maybe it looks a little bit like a toy here in the front, but I haven't got my hands on, so I can't tell for sure. It has a like dotted back. And has a big display of course, and what else? It's dust and water resistant and some other cool things. So let's just take a look at that here pretty quick. So if you start off here, around 50 more grams here on the S5. The S5 of course also has a fingerprint sensor, so you'll be able to put your finger there and like read it, and even do like PayPal payments, I think. Dust and water resistance up to 1 meter in 30 minutes is a big thing. Yeah, very big thing. And then again here, Super AMOLED screen on the S3 versus the Super AMOLED screen at 1080p resolution versus 720p on the S3. You're gonna notice the difference there. Both are, I mean, big phones, 4.8 inches on the S3 versus 5.1 inches, so you're still 3 inches bigger on the S5. It's not super much of a difference if you think about it. It's like 2 years between these two phones right now. So that is pretty interesting. You get only Corning Gorilla Glass 2 here on the S3 versus Gorilla Glass 3. I don't really think that's going to make a big difference either, but it could be good to know. 64GB microSD card here versus 128GB, which is a new SD card. I'm not really sure. Maybe you can even stuff in a 128GB SD card inside of the S3, but the S3 is well in 16, 32, and 64GB variants, and here it's only listing 16 and 32GB variants of the on the S5, but might come different variants in the future. You get also 1GB of extra RAM on the S5, so 2GB of RAM there. A lot of newer devices is also coming out from what I've seen with even 3GB of RAM. So yeah, you're gonna get way better speeds here as well. 150 megabits per second download. It's not even listing that on the S3, only with 21 megabits per second, but it also has a download booster in the software, which is pretty cool. It also comes with an IR port here. The S5 doesn't come with that in S3, so you'll be able to like control your TV with it. NFC of course is available on both. Big difference here in camera, only an 8 megapixel shooter here on the S3 versus 16 megapixel camera here on the DAS S5 with even way higher, more pixels. And then you do have the 2K resolution video recording at 30 frames per second on the S5 versus only 1080p 30 FPS on the S3, which is still pretty amazing. But could be good to know there. Both have the latest version of Android available. 4.4.2 KitKat, probably going to be one of the last updates for the S3. But the S5 of course comes with that out of the box. There's a big difference here also in the chipset area, where the S3 came with the Exynos 4412 quad versus the brand new Snapdragon 801 chipset on inside of the S5, which is a little bit better than the Snapdragon 801 that you got on the Note 3. It's 2.5 GHz clock instead of 2.3 GHz, and then a little bit higher clock in megahertz on the GPU side and on the memory side. But quad-core clock at 2.5 GHz, Cortex 400 here versus quad-core only 1.4 GHz here, but it's Cortex A9, which was something that Samsung focused a lot in the past, and that was a really good setup. It also seems like the S5 probably is going to come with an Exynos variant clocked at 2.1 GHz quad-core. So you got that Mali 400 MP GPU inside of the S3, which is an amazing GPU for Rockstar games like GTA Vice City, GTA San Andreas, GTA 3 games, but not as good as the GPU here at Adreno 330 on the S5, which actually kills if we would talk about Gameloft games. It really outperforms it so much. Of course, colors here, we get tons of different variants here on the S3. We're probably going to get more colors here coming out with the S5. Probably more colors. Now it's only black, white, blue, and gold. That's still a lot of colors here in the beginning. The big difference here also in battery life, you do get 100 milliamp battery here on the S3 versus 800 milliamps, so 700 more milliamp battery. But then again, it has some more power inside of it, so it definitely needs that. So Samsung really has been okay at always upgrading their battery life. So I do believe we're going to see a very good battery life still in the S5, and has more of like an energy booster levels where you can save even more battery inside of the software from what I've seen. So yeah, just quickly a video here checking it out. Hopefully you did enjoy. Yeah, peace out.